despite being washed out, I look okay, although my hair's a little crazy. Hello! Hi everyone! So, this week I wanted to talk about something that I have actually had to deal with, and that is sugar addiction. Sugar addiction is something you might have seen going around maybe in some natural health groups on Facebook, or maybe on a blog of poor or high quality, because it is an actual thing. And I have actually had a sugar addiction and had to beat it before knowing that sugar addiction was a significant thing or how to do it. Now, I want to explain why sugar addiction is an issue. Sugar depletes magnesium from the body at a 6-to-1 ratio. That means it takes 6 magnesium molecules to deal with, I'm gesturing at a spring, whatever. It takes 6 magnesium molecules to deal with 1 sugar molecule. That heavily depletes the magnesium in your body, which you need for more than 300 different processes in the body, and those are just the ones that are known, okay? That increases your inflammation, that has associations with various psychological disorders, including depression, might be associated with schizophrenia. I'll try to remember to put some of these citations down in the bottom. The arthritis is flaring in my ribcage, so it's literally hard to breathe. It's all shallow breathing, which means I don't have enough oxygen. Don't get arthritis. Not that you get a choice, but don't get arthritis. Where was I? Brain. Depletes magnesium. Sugar. Right. The reason it becomes an addiction is not just the response in the brain to the sugar, it's also how the composition of the bacteria in your gut will shift due to a macronutrient imbalance. And what that means is you'll get some types of bacteria and yeast that are supposed to be there, but in much smaller numbers, will overgrow because there's an abundance of food for them. And as a result, we know from research that the bacteria will signal to us, you need to eat more of this in order to continue to feed them, aka sugar cravings. So you've got to strong will yourself against something that is inherently built in for us to respond to for our survival. Not my idea of fun, and you can ask anybody else who's had to deal with a sugar addiction how hard it is to not eat sugar. So the reason I got addicted to sugar was because when I was a kid, I lived on Vancouver Island in Canada, and we moved to the mainland. Anybody who's from here knows that mainland gives myself away. And we moved to the mainland, and suddenly I had access to a lot of sugar, and normal human behavior is to binge on something when we find something we like. Completely normal, completely healthy. You just have to be aware of it when it's something that can have a detrimental effect on your health. And at the age of 9, I'm not going to have that awareness. Nobody is. Itchy. So I got access to it. I discovered Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is one of the sweetest colas out there. And I was also living in an abusive home, so my stress levels are just sky high. But I was also undernourished on top of all of that. I'm not going to get into why I was undernourished. But the undernourishment explains why I did not gain the weight that I should have, given the level of cortisol and lack of physical activity. I had some, but not enough to explain the how I was so skinny, plus the sheer quantity of sugar I was taking in. Like, y'all don't know. Even I don't remember exactly. I just know that I should have gotten kind of chubby. Not really big, but at least chubby, and I didn't. I was still skinny as hell. So, that was a main source of calories for me. As a result, though, I did end up with a sugar addiction, plus the cortisol. It helped relieve some of the cortisol by offsetting it with like serotonin, dopamine, and all those things that sugar will set off like cocaine in the brain. Years later, I'm about 17. Obviously, I'm not out of that home yet, but I recognize the hard cravings for sugar are going to hurt me, because this is when I've really, really started delving into the technical aspects of health, reading nutrition books and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, I need to figure this out. How do I do this? Especially since at this point I had gotten at least a stress ulcer, which sugar was not helping. How do I fix this? Reading up on a few things, what I did to regulate blood sugar, because that would help reduce the cravings somewhat, because the blood sugar is stable. It's only going to signal a craving when your blood sugar is too low. So I went for nutritionally dense sources of carbs, and I also took disgusting quantities of turmeric and cayenne. Now, the reasoning behind the turmeric and the cayenne is because they regulate blood sugar, but in addition, they also help with the cardiovascular system, which would help cleanse out my liver. Cayenne also can, if it's of good quality, stop bleeding like that. I know that's a bold claim to make. Somebody is going to come in the comments. I don't care if it's years later, whatever. Have your thing. Disprove me with an actual citation instead of nattering off. Anyways, because of that, the cayenne was there to also help repair the ulcer in my stomach. End result is it all worked. I did have to apply some significant willpower, which I personally do not lack for. Somebody else who does not have that kind of willpower could take a longer route. This only took me about a month to achieve. That was with very strong self-control and regulating the blood sugar, etc. Yeah, I know there's things I'm forgetting about how I managed it, but that is of what I remember from that time. But sugar addiction can really, really cause issues, and it is very much worth researching. If you find you have sugar cravings, the more you crave carbs and sugar, the more likely it is you have a sugar addiction, and yeah, long-term health effects. Love yourself enough to take care of yourself. On that note, I'll let you go. If you like this stuff, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what's up down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.